Well, New Zealand is joining 23 other countries demanding a full supply of aid be allowed into Gaza. But the UK, France and Canada went much further. Adam Hollingworth has been following the diplomatic developments as condemnation against Israel mounts.
In Gaza, the difference between life and death is now being measured in hours. The Palestinians are exhausted and desperate. Starvation stalking men, women and particularly children.
We're making a very, very clear statement to the Israeli government that we've long run out of patience on this issue.
New Zealand is one of 24 nations calling for Israel to allow a full resumption of aid into Gaza immediately. In their words, to save lives, reduce suffering and maintain dignity.
Despite all the rightful excuses at the start, the act of terrorism back then and countless examples before that, it doesn't alter the fact that the situation is absolutely intolerable.
Foreign Minister Winston Peters says Israel must enable the United Nations and humanitarian organisations to work independently and impartially.
It's devastating. I think this it's an inflection point for Israel. We've simply had enough.
We think it's utterly unacceptable that Israel is not supplying humanitarian assistance in the way that it should do.
We're sick of excuses. We want this matter resolved now, and every hour will be important.
The UK government's patience is beyond threadbare.
I want to put on record today that we're horrified by the escalation from Israel.
The Israeli ambassador was summoned to the Foreign Office as Foreign Secretary David Lammy announced trade negotiations with Israel will be suspended.
The world is judging. History will judge them. Blocking aid, expanding the war, dismissing the concerns of your friends and partners. This is indefensible and it must stop.
The UK has been in the High Court this month defending its arms exports to Israel. Now it has joined other traditionally staunch allies, France and Canada, in issuing a joint statement. We will not stand by while the Netanyahu government pursues these egregious actions. If Israel does not cease the renewed military offensive and lift its restrictions on humanitarian aid, we will take further concrete actions in response. Israel's foreign ministry in Jerusalem replied by pointing out that the British mandate ended exactly 77 years ago, and external pressure will not divert Israel from its path.
This is a proud nation, an independent nation, fighting on its existence, and we will not get any dictates from outside with regard to our national security.
Perhaps an indication that Israel only sits up and takes notice of statements coming from its main weapons provider, the White House, where until recently the talk was about removing the Palestinians, flattening Gaza, then rebuilding it.
And I don't want to be cute, I don't want to be a wise guy, but the Riviera of the Middle East, this could be something that could be so bad, this could be so magnificent.
But President Trump bypassed Israel on his recent Middle East trip and in the past week voiced frustration with the ongoing war.
And we're looking at Gaza, and we got to get that taken care of. A lot of people are starving, there's a lot of bad things going on.
Since then, the blockade has been lifted, but the UN, New Zealand and their allies are clear. If lives are to be saved, aid must arrive in a flood, not a trickle.